Hello everyone. In this video we'll discuss about the communication and communication process. We'll discuss all the important elements that are included in the communication process. Well, we all know that communication is one of the most important parts of existence of human beings. Actually, nothing is possible without communication. The better one's communication is, the greater are the chances to achieve the goals and succeed in life. As Robert Burton has rightly said, a blow with a word strikes deeper than a blow with a sword. So it's very important that you should have a good communication skills. For that you need to understand what is communication and what is communication process. Well, communication is a dynamic process which refers to exchange of ideas, opinions, information, feelings, and beliefs with one another through verbal as well as non-verbal means. Verbal are the ones like writing, speaking, and non-verbal are the ones related to body language, facial expressions, gestures, etc. Well, people think that it's very easy to communicate with anyone, but still they tend to fail many times in communicating their ideas to the other person. The main reason is that they ignore the main elements that are included in the communication. Usually people think that in communication only two elements are important, that are sender and receiver. But basically there are many other elements which need to take care of while communicating. Well, in this slide you can see that communication process is like circular, as we say that communication is a continuous process. Once the sender has sent the message and receiver has received the message, that is not the end of the communication. If we want to make our effective communication, if we want to make our communication effective, we need to pay attention to all these elements. First one is sender, who is also known as encoder. Sender is the originator, the source of the information. Then second is the message, which has to be delivered through a proper channel, that is the third element, the channel, to the receiver, the fourth element. And receiver is also known as decoder. And then receiver, after receiving the message, will reply back to the sender, and that is the other element of communication, which is called feedback. So all these elements are integral to the communication process. First one, sender. Sender is the one who initiates the communication. Sender is also called encoder. Sender conceptualizes the idea and conveys it to the receiver through an appropriate channel. Sender encodes the information by using words, symbols, signs, language, etc. in order to form a meaningful message. Then is message. Now, after the information has been encoded by the sender, it takes the form of a meaningful message. Now, this message comprises of the content that is to be delivered to the receiver. Message can be both verbal as well as non-verbal. Now, the next one is channel. Channel is the medium through which the message is conveyed or transmitted to the receiver. Sender must choose the most appropriate medium to transmit the message. It could include speaking, writing, electronic transmission, or any other non-verbal communication. When sender selects the channel, it's important to consider the availability of the channel, purpose of the communication, etc. Now the next one is receiver. Receiver is also known as decoder, and receiver is the one who receives the message and then decodes it. Receiver tries to comprehend and understand the message in the best possible manner. And the decoding that is done by the receiver depends absolutely on the basis of the knowledge, experience, and communication skills of the receiver. Now, when the receiver has already decoded the message, there comes the last and the most significant step of this communication, that is feedback. Feedback is the final step in the process of communication, but the most important element. It ensures that the message is received by the receiver in the exact manner as it was intended by the sender. And when the receiver receives the message and the information in the same manner as it was desired or intended by the sender, then we say that the communication is successful. And the feedback could be both verbal as well as non-verbal. So with the feedback is always given to the sender. Sender will get an idea whether whatever he wanted to convey to the receiver, has the receiver understood it in the same manner or not. So these are the elements that play a very important role in effective communication. So while communicating, we should always keep in our mind all these elements and communicate in accordance with all of these. Thank you.